All right, using what we've learned so far, we're going to set up a simple bouncing ball animation. So this is going to be divided into a couple of sections. First, what we're going to do is set up our project. So here's the last animation we did. And what I want to do is I want to start with a fresh composition on the file, close, new composition. And I'm going to make this 1,000 by 1,000 pixels. I'm going to leave the frame rate at 29.97. I'm going to leave the background color at black, click OK. And then I'm going to draw a ground, some sky, and some clouds, and a ball. And then in the next sequence, we'll animate. So the first thing is I want to fill this layer with a solid color. I'm going to go over and click on my rectangle. I'm going to go to fill. I'm going to set to fill the blue. A nice blue. And here's a trick. If I want to fill this with a shape that's exactly the same dimensions, I can double click on that, and that's going to give me a shape layer that's a solid that fits over that object completely. I'm going to close all that up, and I'm going to label this sky. So I select it and hit enter or return on the keyboard, type in sky. And now I'm going to click away, make sure that it's not selected, because if the object is selected and I go up to fill color, I'm going to be changing the color of the object. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure the object is deselected. I'm going to click on the rectangle tool. I'm going to choose kind of a brown color for the ground. And then I'm going to draw another rectangle on the ground here, something like this. And that's going to be my ground. And I'm going to come down here. I'm going to close all of the contents there. Go to shape layer, hit select it, hit enter, type in the word ground. And so now I've got my ground there. I'm going to collapse that. And what I want to do is I want to lock those two layers because I'm not going to animate those. And now I'm going to create my bouncing ball. So I'm going to go up, I'm going to click and grab the ellipse tool. I'm going to set the fill to red and make a red ball, right? And I'm going to click while holding down the shift key to make a perfect circle. I'm going to choose the side for the ball. And then I'm going to grab my section tool, click away. And I'm going to center that shape by clicking on the shape and aligning it through the center. And I'm going to go to the layer, hit enter on the layer, and call it ball. And there's my ball layer. I'm going to make one more series of objects. We're going to make some clouds. So I'm going to grab my ellipse tool. I'm going to set the fill to white. And it's not going to be fancy. I'm just going to draw an ellipse and then another ellipse. Notice that it's drawing the ellipse on the same shape. They're all part of the same shape. So if you look at your here, all of these are part of that same shape layer. And I'll call this cloud 1. And there's my first cloud. And I'll make another cloud. And this one's going to be on a different layer because I deselected that. And I'll draw another circle and then add some more circles to it. And they're being added to the same, all these are part of the same shape layer. And I'm going to close that. And I'm going to call this, I'm going to enter and call this cloud 2. And now I'm ready to start my animation. So the next exercise, we're going to animate this. Let's stop here and we'll come back on the other side and do our animation.